comp, sorry. It looks like Randlers, Anox, and 2 and 3, 2 and 3 got taken down by SLS. Is a great company.
Cool, yeah, that's right. So if we head into the map, we can actually see what the actual rosters are. Apologies for that. SLS is a good company. It's going to be Sinu, new players, Sinu, Zeds, and Melon. This is one of the things about having the EU tournament on Saturday. Is new player. So I'm excited to see what they have to offer. A Taya Croak comp, not something that we've seen before.
Apologies for the confusion there, but it's looking like these two teams will be going and Taya Croak. Yeah, you're right. We have never seen it. Taya Croak with a Lucy to boot, and we're gonna see Little Master actually on Rakan this time, with Kababi on Taya still and Gaddafi on Paloma.
Palomo.
Palomo? Pobloma.
Pobloma. No Pobloma.
I find other side a fantastically interesting mechanic in that it really negates a lot of hard CC, especially going against this team, Taya Croak. They're going to be trying to line up, I bet, a lot of those X Boomerangs, followed by, or probably Croak Deceit, followed by X Boomerangs, just to put a lot of damage on. But the other protect that from a lot of damage. Little Master does get a good. He's going to try and deal as much damage as possible. Kababi's just going to try and poke where he can. He does get double stun. One on Zens and another on Melon. Now we're going to see if Kababi can just keep that damage up. He will use his haste. Little Master is just going, chunking around, using that reap.
They have to dissuade Goda from continuing just channel heals into Kababi, and that's actually one of the things keeping Kababi so high, despite the fact that there's actually a lot of damage coming out from the side of SLS. Let's see, there's a piggy pop on Kababi. Oh, will make the kill onto Sainu. This will just be an easy cleanup for Little Master here. We'll swipe away at Melon. Now only Zens left. One of the big things and the big benefit of running a champion like Paloma or Pestilence as well is that they actually have steady out. You need first. You need to dissuade Paloma or Pestilence from actually getting in and channeling those heals to make it work. And if not, you end up in a scenario where you're just indefinitely being topped off. Kababi was able to survive a ton of pressure. Sainu was able to land good X strikes, good wind bombs, got left click damage as well. But there's just too much healing to counter out the numbers that they were pushing. Little Master going to try and get M2 off the bat, maybe get a good pull as well. He's getting closer. He does take in Zens. The barrier comes out. He's going to spacebar in. The camouflage is going to protect Melon from taking that M2 damage from Kababi. Kababi's just going to keep poking from a distance, but now we see Taya on Taya. A good stun from Sinu, though. There's going to lower some max health, and the burst is coming in strong for Sinu. He's able to make sure Kababi takes the brunt of the damage rather than cleaving through multiple members of the team of Little Master. If there's a champion that's good at healing AoE, it's Paloma. We're going to see Little Master has got Wicked Strike. He will get the silence on his charge, as we see right there. Taking Melon, followed by the Panic. He has to go in. The ultimate, though, knows it is not much for Zens. We're going to see the Paloma barrier as well. Oh, he gets pulled back into it. And the synergy between the two ultimate pops is incredible. Zens is so low. It will stay alive, though, and that orb is actually going to go in their favor as well. We're going to see if they're going to be able to continue on. Now nice incapacitated. Tries to get the stun, but misses it. Gets hooked up or gets stopped just before. And that's a big lost opportunity there for SLS. Weren't able to take Zens down, and now they're going to see their ally go down instead. Gaddafi. Paloma wasn't able to stay secure. There's going to be an orb at half health. Who's going to try and secure this? Sinu will take that as well. Another orb for them. Now we're going to see the Venom coming out. Rakan has to use his R to get out of there, but Ty's going to go down right next to him. Little Master watches his ally die, and he will die after. All three still alive, but 38% health. They were getting kind of low. We saw just barely Lucy made it out of there. Yeah. Incredible. I really like the way they pulled their way back into this this map just in the second round, making sure that they didn't set a trend for going down 2-0 right at the start, because that can be really troublesome. I think it's all about Sinu. He's been really great about landing X strikes, doing a ton of damage. 893 there in that particular round. And I just really appreciate, in the previous round, he was getting a lot of cleaves on his boomerang, hitting a lot of targets, which can be good, but against a Paloma where she has Spirit Link between all the members of her team, just channeling heals into one individual target is going to mean everybody gets picked up and going to make her healing more efficient in many ways. So you really want to chunk down max health against Paloma. So he's trying to hunt down Little Master. He does miss his pull and his M2, but he's going to go in and try and get a silence on Melon, who's just going to get healed right back up from Lucy. Going in on Kababi, uses his Q to push him away. Melon's going to try and maybe sneak around the other side. Other side, actually, speaking of, does go down and get off. Now we're going to see Little Master try and put some damage on. Melon gets just to the side of that M2. He's going to have to go heal up. Oh, what a fantastic X strike from Sinu, dealing a lot of damage to both Little Master and Gaddafi. Here comes the Deceit, looking to get the incapacitate. Does land it on Rukan. There's the X strike. Will land a little bit, and they chip away a little bit of health from Little Master. But again, they really need to make sure that they knock down max health because Godov can actually heal up pretty quick. The ultimate is going to re-top off Little Master, and here comes the Rukan ultimate. Going to get another claw. Barrier's going to mitigate some of that damage, and here comes a turnaround now. Melon plus Sainu onto Rukan. And now they're going to try to pressure off Godov, which I think is a smart option. They need a way to stop Godov from healing.
Lucy's healing up Sainu. Didn't take any more max damage, keeping him in a position where he can stay a threat. But we have to see Croak's got to be careful. Melon did have to use his E to get out of there, and that orb again, and we're going to see 3 go to favor of Prepare to Die.
Consume being incredibly aggressive, or being incredibly effective rather, for Little Master there, stopping multiple X strikes. And when the Taya can't really get in and do chunking damage there, despite the fact that Little Master took a lot of damage early on, they were just not able to secure a good position to continue pressing that damage. One of the best things about Rukan Paloma is that Rukan can hold his ground and play a distance game and play very protected by combo and consume with Shadow Bolts. And that's exactly how he traded out against Sainu. Sainu tried to go for the X strikes, got it consumed, that charged up Little Master's weapon, and Little back with a Shadow Bolt, doing a ton of damage back to Sainu. And really it's Rukan playing as range character, right? Protecting Paloma and giving Rukan a lot of survivability because Paloma can just safely sit there and hold down mouse 1 and Rukan. And then Rukan just trading out damage through Shadow Bolt and Claws, just threatening Kababi, or rather threatening Sainu, making him spend a lot of cooldowns and not getting a lot of damage in return.
We're going to see, will they lose this first map? Remember, this is a best of 3 maps. Win score 3 within each map.
Oh, the barrier was well timed, but Sainu might be taking more damage here. Zenz needs to keep up with the healing if he wants to make sure that they don't take too much.
Well, good wolf landed on Melon, but he used his spacebar actually to still be untargetable, or at least hard to hit. Godov wants to heal as much as he can because he can't heal himself without his allies. He might need a little bit of protection. We're going to see an in-cap followed by a stun. Melon doing a good job of splitting things up, and a great Petrify on 2 players. All 3 then jumping into a good bit of damage. We're going to see the Piggy get popped.
Oh, Melon is going to whiff on the camouflage stun. Got the incapacity on the Taya, but just missed a follow-up. Right now, it seems like Mycon is actually trading back really, really well. Here comes the Rukan ultimate. We'll get the center orb off of it, missing a lot of hooks, and the last one misses as well. And Kababi is now going to be the one popping his ultimate. Gets petrified up instantly, though. Life grip to help mitigate some of that. Zenz is in trouble, takes a ton, but the barrier was well timed. Won't lose any max health for it. We'll be able to heal up. And it's just a constant string of pressure coming from Mycon Prepare to Die. How is SLS going to regain footing in this match?
I don't know if it's going to be possible. The Deceit will come out, though. The Consume, what a fantastic Consume. Little Master cutting that off, knowing he couldn't get around him. Keeping that strafe up. Sainu is literally just almost no damage. She will go down. She's going to get pulled and M1'd in. Barrier on herself, which means Croak's going to be in a terrifying spot.
Lands 2 with the Venom win, but Godov uses the ultimate iframe. And Mycon Prepare to Die will take the first map. It's tough. I do think that Sainu, Zenz, and Melon are showing glimmers of excellent play here, but mix of Little Master, Kababi, and Godov, it's looking tough. Little Master is doing so well, both protecting his team and turning damage around onto SLS. It's interesting to look at their composition. Typically, Taya comps use something like a Varesh or something like a Shifu, but by adding in that Rukan instead, it gives them a lot more sustainability. It gives them a lot more ability to sit and hold at a particular position and be unrelenting in terms of pressing aggression onto your opponents, because you can consume and eat up so much damage. We saw incapacitates from Melon being soaked up. We saw X-Strikes being soaked up. Just a lot of mitigation, as well as if they try to target Rukan, he's not the easiest target to hold down. He has a bunch of iframes, he has a bunch of mobility, and he has self-healing.
Yeah, the self-healing, I think, is a lot of key. It allows him to stay in the fight a little bit longer and make sure that he doesn't take a lot of max health hits, as long as he keeps getting those M1s, as long as he keeps maybe even lands an E. His E will also heal him a bit. Sometimes you'll see Rakan do like a point-blank E. It's just to get a little bit of heal as well. Yeah. Especially if there's a curse on it. He'll follow it up with a curse, maybe a fully charged weapon. Yeah. Just buys him a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But we don't see Rakan Paloma together, mostly because we don't see Paloma very often. But we saw some great synergy using both of their ultimates just to really secure as much damage as possible.
Yeah, when you talk about something like Taya Varesh as opposed to Taya Rukan, this is one of the things that, even in many ways, Shifu can do it, but that relies on him hitting the EX Spear. Having the constant spammable claws from Rukan to be able to constantly reposition your opponent and keep pulling them back into that Paloma ult is actually really good synergy. If you get to the 5th round as well and have the stun on the second hit of Paloma's ult, that could be a huge combo where you're just clawing and doing damage, and then a stun, and then Rakan. Well, it's a lot, and I like the way that they executed that. I like the composition I'm seeing from Prepare to Die. On the side of SLS, they're running Croak Taya. I wonder if they're going to change it up. I think Croak Taya can be very dangerous, and it makes sense in the sense of holding a target down to set him up for big extra chunking damage, as well as using things like Tornado and Haste to help your teammates survive just a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's kind of the big difference compared to Croak Jade, is that Croak Taya has a lot of increased mobility through Haste and kind of mobile damage, where you can extract on the move rather than having to stay stationary and snipe. But you're missing out things like Disabling Shot, you're missing out Stealth or Veil, you know. Your ultimate is not quite as bursty. Piggy is good, but it's not 4 shots of huge damage.
Yeah, it definitely, it requires a little bit more finesse to really lock on the damage. And just to speak a little bit on Rakan Paloma, what I like too is when Rakan ults, he's putting himself in a slightly vulnerable position because he relies on his lifesteal that he gets from all of his abilities when he's in it, but he can't use any iframes and get stun locked out. But what's cool is when he's in a Paloma ult, he can pull people into it to deal damage, but he's also getting healed constantly. So if he can't make as much contact and he's getting poked from a distance, it'll secure him a little bit more as well, as opposed to when he stands in a Lucio ult, which we see a lot, where he'll stand in a Lucio ult and try and pull into that. We've seen Rakan still take a lot of damage while standing in there because they'll get sniped or stunned from a distance and then poked down. But we'll see if they're going to be able to keep going with the aggression and keep this team comp alive.
Goodoff is going to get the BattleRekt that helps, that makes you invisible when you get other-sided, and that's actually very useful for breaking away from opponents.
Melon does get blind stunned. He's not going to be able to go and secure that stun. You see Little Master posturing up, trying to dodge it, but he does pull in one to silence as well. Trying to get, but just going to turn around again. Help Melon with an M2.
Zeds needs to figure out how he wants to spend his cooldowns. Doesn't actually use a barrier. There it finally goes onto Melon. The C is popped. Oh, but gets stunned out. Will end the incapacitate anyways and gets a stun onto Godov. He's taking a little bit of max health and damage here, but Sainu's still in position to do more damage. Let's see if the extract comes in big. Piggy is available as well. Will get consumed up. Here comes the Piggy as an answer. Zance tries to add on to the damage by hitting a deadly eject, but that actually does whiff. They will put on a lot of pressure onto Little Master though. 2 orbs to SLS so far, but middle control seems to be from Prepare to Die. We're going to see Rakan just try and go in as much as he can, trying to tear through that, but the ultimate will come out. Sanu might get punished. Doesn't have a whole lot, but the petrifying Rakan will waste his entire ultimate. Kababi now stuck in a tight spot, trying to get away. Doesn't have his tornado up. He had to use it, and he will go down as well. Godov now might try and pick up some juice. Looks like Rakan's actually going to take his ult, but the panic as well, followed by some deadly injections. He's going to go down while ulted. Godov now left all alone. Fantastic execution from the side of SLS. I really like the way they executed the damage onto Godov in that scenario. They had the incapacitate land. They pushed up aggressively with the Taya, and they could have spent X-Strike in that scenario, and it would have been good because they would have connected with the huge burst on the X-Strike and the stun to allow Croak to follow it up with his own camouflage stun. But instead, they just went for left-click damage, and rather Kababi felt the need to pop Godov up with the tornado, but still had the X-Strike at the ready because they didn't actually spend it. So after the tornado landed, they were able to shift their focus onto Kababi. Then they landed the X-Strike onto Kababi instead, and now that damage stayed. That was a lot of pressure and was able to chuck down max health, and Kababi had to spend, or rather Godov had to spend other side to get out of that scenario, and then it was just going back and forth, just making the defensive cooldown spend on the side of Prepare to Die really disorganized.
Little Master just trying to ignore Melon and go straight for Sanu. They want to take Ty down as quick as possible. Popping that Piggy can be a bit strong. The Tornado's down now though, so she's in a tight spot, but she will secure the orb. Little Master instead is just going to pull in Zens, trying to get that secure on their support. But now take a look at all this damage down to the bottom. The ultimate will come out. 1-2, the Piggy gets popped. She actually uses it to escape and also turn around and deal tons of damage, but the other side will save Little Master.
Little Master gets out of the scenario, and after leeching a lot from his ultimate, they will be able to push SLS back just a little bit. And a lot of members are low. Zens really needs to pick up his teammates here. Melon, Sainu, and Zens are just getting really, really low on health. And Melon will end the incapacity, but I think it's too little too late. One of their members is already dead. There goes a second, and the third follows. SLS is struggling to maintain consistency here against Prepare to Die, but I think they have the ability to actually make it happen.
Will definitely take some coordination. As you said, Croak and Taya together can get around a lot, but I feel like that kind of ups the executional display they're going to have to put on to do consistent damage. It's going to be really tough. People locking them down for them to do damage on. You know, you look at you look at Croak with Ashgar, Jade, there's a lot of long stuns, you know, to really let them sit there and just take damage. But between the two of them, they're both really short on the stun, so they're not going to be able to like lock them down. Again, Melon.
Chunked out early on. That's going to cause Zents to have to spend a lot of healing flasks. Barrier is spent as well. Then Zents only has one more healing flask available. If they land another connection, Prepare to Die does, they're going to be losing a ton of max health here. Let's see if that's the case. Melon goes in. Individuals are not quite topped off. The orb will go to the side of Prepare to Die, and this is looking really, really advantageous for Prepare to Die. Oh, nice consume from Little Master. Tries to flick the Shadow Ball, but will actually miss. Oh, there's a big connection here. No, but Melon will actually miss the camouflage stun. The other side is being spent already. Kababi taking center position, but taking a ton of damage for it, and they'll lose the orb.
Zents will secure that. It was put right in front of her with 2 health. She got a good M1. Little Master's going to try and get an M2 as well on Sanu. Going to help his ally as much as possible. The Tornado will go down for Kababi as well, but now he's got nothing left. Haste is down. Tornado is down. They might try and turn their targets to her, but she might be secure behind. Melon snuck anyways. Ultimate from Gaddafi needs to come down to protect her allies, and they will lose another orb in the process.
SLS off the back of Melon's good connections on Deceit, as well as the CC chain coming from Zents, is really pulling them back into this game. And Sainu has been taking good control of the center position, getting center orbs for themselves. And now they're going to pop a second Piggy. Here's big connection, X-Strike onto Little Master. Kababi has the Tornado himself, but they're quickly running out of the cooldowns. There's an Incapacitate. The Paloma gets stunned up. And so much pressure coming out from SLS right now. They will get their 3rd orb. Just need a clean connection right now. They need to push out Tornado as a cooldown. They need to push out other side as a cooldown.
That was fantastic. Kababi popped his ultimate, and then when Melon closed in, he popped his Q before the ultimate even showed up, giving him space to try and M1 as much as possible. Melon trying to hunt down Kababi as well, but we see the spacebar for Gaddafi on to protect him from some damage. We do see Rakan ultimate come out. He needs Paloma to protect him. They lose another. Actually, no, they got that orb. Apologies. And now Melon might go down. They could get a cross kill before Ty goes down. She does have her shield to protect her.
The Piggy's going to be tough for this 3v2 situation. Oh no, SLS! The cross kill happens and both are so low. The only viable kill target here is Kababi. The good thing is they do have Croak on their side, so they could actually incapacitate Paloma and then get the, oh, misses a leap, and then get the stun onto Kababi. But the Tornado is going to be something that they worry about. And oh, there's a connection. The Deadly Inject is going to whiff, and I think Melon might fall here. He went in hard, and that was basically all in. And didn't get the kill. Here's the second Deceit.
The Tornado to try and protect from the seat. Oh, pushes his out! Instead, Zents thought he might have been a little bit safe, but he stood too close to the end, got pushed out by a Q.
What a heartbreaking loss. What a heartbreaking loss. SLS was in heavy control of that fight, made the first kill onto Rakan. I think the tough thing about it was there was other side. There was Life Grip, there was Tornado, there was Haste. There were so many cooldowns that they had to fight through. As SLS, in terms of their composition, make sure that they're constantly putting pressure and choosing targets wisely, and also just playing out the mind game, because I feel like if they just play straight math, if they just try to trade cooldowns 1-for-1 each time, they're not going to get anywhere. It takes too long. By the time they're done baiting out the last cooldown, the first cooldown is ready again. And I think it's really up to positioning and constant pressure and smart target switching. You need to play the mind game. You can't just play the math.
It's tough though, with another side and a Tornado on the opposing team. And also EXE for Little Master being able to pull an ally as well.
Oh, nice counter X-Strike. Will cause other side to be spent here. Lands a stun onto Godolph, but gets pushed away. Actually baits out the spell break. And now, actually, SLS is in a good position. They will get the center orb as well. Incapacitate will land on Godolph. Camouflage stun onto Little Master. And other side has to be spent here. And so they're going to be looking to be in a pretty good spot.
Oh, Kababi.
There's the Tornado. There's an open opportunity for SLS right now. Here comes the Deceit. Will end the Incapacitate. They need to connect on a target. Is the target going to be Kababi? He loses a bit of health. Stun onto Little Master. The Piggy is popped, and he will do a good bit of damage. The Petrify is going to hold up Little Master as well. That earns them another orb.
Now we're going to... Actually, I think I might have gotten stolen. It's 1 orb to 1 orb.
Oh, no. Still a lot of pressure coming out from SLS's side. Piggy is popped now.
Now we're going to see, oh, Sanu's going to take some damage. You got to be careful. The Piggy has been broken. Oh, man, that burst damage. Now Paloma's ult is going to help them try and secure mid. They do.
Oh, no sense!
Now we're going to see one ultimate as well. One goes down. Sanu is in a dangerous spot as well. That's a Tornado out of there, but anything can accidentally take her down. She will go down to a Little Master spacebar, and this could be it. This is going to be it for them. 3 rounds, 2 maps to prepare to die.
Man. And SLS is a good company, gets taken out. prepared to die, continuing to demonstrate why they are one of the top-end teams here. And impressive that SLS would 2 and 3, but they just couldn't stand up to Mycon Prepare to Die.
It was so close, and that almost 2v3 situation, but they were able to secure a kill to make it a 2v2, and Paloma had just so much health. She wasn't a target, as you mentioned. They would have had to take down Taya and then try and survive a Paloma, especially between her wolf bouncing around her.